Now that our solid lasts more than a few frames and covers the entire canvas, we need to create a fade effect. To do this, we're going to make our solid transition from transparent to opaque along the timeline. So in your track panel, go to where it says SPR solid white and click on that little arrow to the left. This is going to open up and you'll see two new rows. These are called parameter tracks. Now, as the name suggests, these are tracks that let you adjust different parameters for whatever asset you have on the canvas. We change the scale and the position of this white solid sprite by stretching it to fill the canvas. So because we had automatically record changes turned on, it automatically recorded new parameter tracks for position and scale. Now, had we had the playhead somewhere else on the timeline when we were doing this, like at frame 8 or 10 or whatever, these keyframes it created would have been made at those points. But because we had it at 0, they were made right here. And they last the duration of the timeline because we haven't made any other changes so far. That's great for making changes automatically, such as when we stretch things out on the canvas. But what happens when we want to make a change to a parameter very specifically? Well, we can go ahead and add a parameter track manually and then adjust it from there. So make sure the yellow playhead is once again at your first frame, which is 0. And right up here on the track where it says SPR solid white, you'll notice a little plus button. And this is the add parameter track button. If you click this, it shows you which parameter tracks you can add. Now we already have position and scale, so we can't add new ones for that. But we can add color multiply, and this is the one we want to choose. It's going to add a new parameter track, which you'll see here, and you see it's got an option including a color, the hex code for that color, but it hasn't created a keyframe automatically. We want to do that, so I'm going to just click this toggle key on button, the little blue diamond, and you'll see that a keyframe has appeared here. And next I want to click on the white swatch to open up a color picker. Now, if you're on a Mac, this might look a little bit different, but the options are essentially the same. We want to change the alpha setting from 255 all the way down to 0. And then we just want to click OK. Now you can see that our color multiply parameter track has changed, and it shows that we have a transparency here. The alpha is set to 0, so we can see that this little swatch is transparent. And if we look again on our canvas, now our white solid has disappeared. So what we want to do is create the other keyframe in which this will be made opaque again, and then the sequence editor will automatically tween between transparent and opaque and create our fade effect. So go ahead and drag the playhead to another spot on the canvas. You can always adjust this later. I'm just going to put mine at frame 14. And click on the color multiply parameter track. Click on the empty blue diamond here to toggle another keyframe. And then make sure you have that keyframe selected, or else we're not going to be editing anything and it'll actually be kind of confusing. So with that keyframe selected, you can click on that little swatch again to bring up the color picker. And in this case, we're going to change the alpha all the way back up to full 255 and click OK. Now if we scrub through our timeline, you'll see that we have a nice fade effect built in. If you place a keyframe in the wrong spot, you can always click and drag it around to change it. You can also select multiple keyframes at once, such as you could select both of these keyframes for color multiply and then move them both together. If you added a keyframe you didn't need or you made a mistake, you can always click on a keyframe and press the delete key to remove it. And don't forget that if you aren't super happy with the duration of this asset key on your timeline, you can always just stretch that out or change that as you need.